Welcome to Jesus Yoga. This practice is more intermediate. There is another video which says Jesus Yoga practice for all levels. Now this is a continuation of this practice with more intermediate to advanced variations. So make sure to have mastered Jesus Yoga prayer for all levels. First that video before you start this video. I hope you have fun and enjoy. We're going to start with the sun salutations right on the mat. We're going to stand up straight, feeling grounded, making sure that all corners of your feet are really touching the floor, the toes, the heels, the side of the feet. Then we're going to see that your belly is pulled in and your shoulders are back and nice relaxed, and your head is up straight, pulling really upward, standing up tall. Starting in a Ujjayi breath, deep inhales and deep exhales. We're going to inhale, exhale, hands in front of your heart. Inhale, raising up your hands tall, stretching up. Exhale, diving down. Inhale, right leg to the back. Foot is really down on the floor. Holding the breath. Now knees, chest, chin or forehead. Sliding through into cobra. And into a downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg moves forward, opening up your chest. Other leg moves forward, bending forward. Inhale, raising up all the way up, really stretching upward. Exhale, hands to your side. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, diving down. Inhale, left leg goes to the back, opening up the chest. Other leg back, holding the breath. Knees, chest, chin or forehead. Cobra into downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg to the front. Both legs to the front. Inhale all the way up. Exhale down. Inhale, exhale. Hands in front of your chest, really pressing the hands together. Inhale up and now add a little back bend. Start off slow. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, right leg back, opening up the chest. Both legs back, knees, chest, chin, no forehead. Into cobra. Downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg to the front, opening up. Exhale, both legs. Inhale, raising up, all the way up, little back bend. Exhale down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, upward. Exhale, diving down. Inhale, left leg to the back, both legs, knees, chest, chin, forehead. Inhale, and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg to the front, both legs. Inhale, rising up, little back bend. Exhale down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, upward stretch. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, right leg to the back, both legs, knees, chest, chin. Upward facing or cobra. And downward facing. Inhale, right leg to the front, opening up the chest. Exhale, both legs. Inhale, stretching out and back. Exhale down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale up, opening up the chest. Exhale, diving down. Inhale. Left leg, both legs, knees, chest, chin. cobra, into downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg, both legs forward, folding down. Inhale, lifting and back bending, opening up the chest. Exhale down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, rising up, back bending. Exhale, moving forward. Inhale, right leg to the back. Both legs, knees, chest, chin. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg. Both legs to the front, folding down. Inhale, rising up all the way. And back bending. Exhale, standing up. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Exhale, moving down. Inhale, left leg back. Both legs, knees, chest, chin. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg to the front. Exhale, both legs. Inhale, rising up all the way. And back bending. Exhale, standing up. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, moving down. Inhale, right leg to the back, opening up the chest. Knees, chest, chin. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, right leg. Both legs to the front. Inhale, rising up all the way. Little back bend and standing up. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, little back bend. Exhale. Left leg to the back, opening up the chest. Both legs, knees, chest, chin. Cobra. And the downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, both legs. Inhale, rising all the way up. Little back bend. Exhale, moving down. Now we're going to do a few variations from here. So we're going to inhale and exhale, pressing really the hands together. It should shake. You're pressing so hard the hands together. Now stay here. Really use the power of the arms. Calming down your breath. Inhale, your hands go up. Now you drop back and your chest opens up. It's not that important to really bump the hips forward. It's more important to open up that chest. Breathing deeply. Inhale and exhale, all the way diving down. Stay here for a minute. Inhaling and exhaling. You can bend your knees if you want to, really placing your chest onto your legs and then straightening up back those legs. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, right leg to the back, opening up the chest. Stay here. Really getting the good stretch in the quadriceps. Now we rise up. If you can, interlace your fingers and really opening up your chest. Up, and you can place both hands on the inside of the leg, really stretching down, staying here in lizard pose for a minute. Coming up, shifting the weight back in half Hanumanasana, half split. Now we can round the back and straighten it a little here. It's a little like cat-cow. And straighten it. And rounding one more time. And straightening it. And if you want to, you stay here or you can slide down into full splits. Or you might not be as low down as I am, or you might be just a lot lower down. You can also place a blanket underneath here to make sure that your butt is supported. Stay here for a minute. Breathing deeply, calming yourself with a breath. Rising up again, really with your core muscle, it's lifting that leg high up, straightening it up. Now come down into a plank, knees, chest, chin, opening up into a cobra. Exhale and a downward facing dog. Inhale and you come forward with the right leg, opening up the chest. Now interlacing your fingers behind your back, opening up your chest, stay here. You don't have to drop back your head if it's not comfortable, but you can. Make sure not to just yank it back, but to get more space up here in front. Come up, hands on the inside of the leg. You can stay here if that's plenty, stay here. Otherwise, you can come down on your forehands, forearms. Make sure that your knee is not really dropping to the side, but you're keeping it close to your shoulder. Coming up, shifting the weight back into half Hanumanasana. And now we're going to round and straighten the back like cat-cow. On the inhale, we straighten. On the exhale, we draw everything. Inhale and exhale. And inhale. And you can stay here or come down into full splits, and one side is usually tighter than the other. That's normal. Make sure not to shift the weight too much forward and too much back. And if you need to place a pillow underneath your hip here, do that. Or you can support also your hands with a block. Calming yourself with a breath. Placing your hands down, and really with your core muscles drawing that leg back and really raising that leg. Placing down into downward facing dog. On the inhale, you raise that leg, opening up one more time. Exhale, both legs to the front, folding forward. Inhale, rising up. And exhale, all the way down. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, lifting up and opening up the chest. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, left leg to the back, opening up the chest. Both legs back and knees chest chin. Moving through cobra, staying in cobra for a minute. From the cobra, you raise yourself up with a lot of force and strength, especially core muscles, all the way up into downward facing dog. You can skip it if it's not available to you. Left leg comes to the front. Right leg folding forward. You can grab your ankles or your calves from the behind. Breathing, shifting your weight evenly between the heels and the toes. Inhale all the way up, opening up the chest and coming up. Nice work. Standing up straight. Now coming down, bending our knees, raising your arms in front, really sucking in your belly and sitting down slowly. Nice. And raising up your legs right here. If you can lift both legs. Inhaling, exhaling, activating the core. Drawing the knees back in, and you're going to lay down. We're going to get the fire going into our core so we can more easily get into a handstand and be more aware of our core, our belly. So we're going to lift up our arms, raising up our knees and getting the knees placed onto our triceps. Feet are touching. And we're going to lift and we're going to draw in the belly and stay here. Breathing in deeply, really lifting off the shoulders off the floor. Getting the knees together, stay up here. Raising your arms to one side and lifting. Drawing in the belly. Lift both legs. Lower the left leg and really making sure it's kind of parallel to the mat, not going out to the side. Lifting up your chest. Now raise that leg if you can and lower. Raise it up. Lower it. Feel the burn, activating your core, drawing in your belly. Lift and lower. Lift and now coming to the front again, getting both legs together on the inside of your knees, raising up, staying here for a minute, breathing. Don't hold your breath. Knees together, shifting to the other side. Lifting. Raising your legs up. And lowering the right leg down. Staying here. Smiling, making sure that leg doesn't go to the side, but it's kind of like towards the middle of the mat. Raising that leg up and lowering it down. Relax your neck, relax your jaw. On the exhale, you lower. Inhale up. Exhale, lower, drawing in your belly. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more time to the middle. And hold it here. Lift. Drawing in your belly. And lowering down. Relax for a minute. Stretching up. Stretch really tall, making yourself big and long. Now pressing your heels down, drawing your belly in, you're going to lift your upper body all the way into a sitting position. Nice. Now if you can cross your legs, really draw those knees in, and you can either step back or hop through chaturanga. Upward facing into downward facing. Dropping your knees. Now I need a blanket for that, because for the headstand I always need a blanket. The floor is too hard for me. You might be different. Now, making sure you measure out your arms, that they're shoulder width apart. Slowly coming up. Either you stay here, or if you mastered it, you can come up all the way. Feeling your core. Breathing deeply. If you can, open up your arms and placing the forearms down, so further down. And you can lift and lower. Child's pose. Rolling yourself up, and we're going to come into tripod headstand. Now that was already enough for you. Stay in a resting place. You can stay in child pose. We're going to slowly come up into tripod headstand, and there's different variations and ways how to get into it. Let's try the first one. So you're going to make sure that it's a tripod headstand, so you have the triangle. A lot of people place the hands way too much forward around the head. It needs to be a triangle. So the hands and the head is a triangle. So I'm placing my hands down, and I'm placing the crown of my head. Really make sure it's not back here or in front here. We're like placing the crown down. Now, in this variation, there is weight more on your head than on the other one. And if you do have a lot of neck issues, make sure that this posture is okay for you. You can also practice against the wall. Now, lifting up your legs. And one of the easiest ways to practice before you do anything else, you just lift your legs onto your arms, and you can actually stay here, and you probably will not lose your balance, because this is not really that difficult. From here, you can lift up your legs and come into the tripod headstand. You can lower those legs down, maybe halfway, and if you can, shoot them back, upward facing into downward facing. Now, if this was really challenging for you, you can practice this again, or you can just practice coming up with your hands onto your arms. Otherwise, we're going to practice one more variation from Bakasana, crow pose. Now, if you're working on Bakasana, as I say, you can either do the exercise before, or you can work on Bakasana, and there's a tutorial there. The different variation, how to get into it and how to practice it. So you come into Bakasana. Now make sure you're not slamming down your head, but slowly placing down your head and then raising up your legs. And then you can shoot your legs back if you can. Upward facing into a downward facing. And coming into child's pose to rest. Placing your hands, palms facing up, beside your body. Rising up. Now we have used our wrist quite a bit, and so we can stretch it out a little by placing them down like this. Breathing deeply, not really hard pressing down, just bending them a little bit. Now we can place the hands down and shift the weight back, and you can, it's totally okay for the palms to peel off the mat. One more time, getting the wrist, giving them a kind of stretch. Nice, now we're going to lay down on our backs and coming into shoulder stand, and there are ways how to provide, if you have a lot of back, shoulder or neck problems, how to softly get into the shoulder stand. And there's another tutorial that I have done. So you might want to watch that. Just lift your legs up. Support your back. Relaxing your toes. You can actually, if you want to, you can actually activate the butt muscles, but you don't have to. Breathing in deeply into the throat. Dropping both like this at the same time, slowly down. You can support your back or place your hands down interlaced. Breathing in deeply. Inhaling into your chest, into your heart, exhaling through your throat. Now you can place your knees beside your ears into an ear pressure pose. Breathing in deeply, you can still hold on to your back. That's more comfortable. Breathing in deeply. Calming yourself with a breath. Especially after those challenging headstands. Raising up your legs one more time. Now you stay here, or if you know how to do lotus pose, you can come into lotus pose. Hold on to your knees here and lift. Breathing deeply. And if there's no problem here, you can hug your knees in and really make yourself a tight round ball, drawing in your belly, enjoying the spinal stretch. Now slowly, using your hands as brakes, slowly come down. I actually like to shift forward first. Now you can stay in lotus, or you can straighten out your legs all the way. We're going to go into fish pose, but if you can stay in a lotus bind, then stay in lotus. Otherwise, straighten out your legs, and we're just going to move back, shifting the weight onto the elbows and on to the head. Inhaling and exhaling. In lotus, you hold on actually onto your toes, opening up the chest. If you have a strong neck muscles, then you can actually lift your leg, raise your legs up, and your palms are touching and lifting as well, and holding here, drawing the belly, strong legs. Slowly coming down and hugging the knees into your chest, up an asana just for a minute. Relaxing. Now if you can roll yourself up, crossing the legs, drawing the knees, and then shifting the weight back. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. It's not a full vinyasa class, but I like to actually shift the weight every once in a while through vinyasa. To me, it always releases any kind of tension in the body that has maybe built up through the practices. Great. We're going to come onto our backs again for wheel pose. So we're going to look forward and see if we can actually walk forward, really shifting the weight onto your hands, or jump. Inhale, straight back. Exhale, folding down one more time. Now you can come through a chair pose. Raising up your arms. And again, lowering your arms sitting down, using the core muscles, slowly rolling down, vertebrae by vertebrae, and relaxing. Getting your heels closer to your body, closer to your bottom, and lifting up your butt for a bridge pose. Staying here for a minute. You can grab your heels if you can reach them, or you can interlace your hands underneath, opening up the shoulders just a little bit more. Keep your butt lifted, and now you can see if you can shift a little bit the weight into the middle onto the left foot, and then you raise up your right foot. Stay up there and really use your legs, building up some stamina. Lowering the leg down and the other leg lifts. Lowering the leg down, you can, if you can, you stay up here, stay up there. Now placing your hands beside your ears, and you're going to lift. Breathing deeply. And placing your head down, lowering your back, don't draw on your knees. You can place your heels together and drop your knees to the side. Just relaxing for a minute. Now down, placing your feet down right by your hips. Make sure they're parallel to the mat. If it happens that they shift in the process of wheel pose, then it happens, but try to focus on it, especially right alignment when you start. And then once you get more stamina, you can correct yourself maybe, or have somebody look at it if your feet are like moving outward or too much inward. So, placing your feet down. This time, you're going to come up, but you're going to interlace your fingers as if you want to do a headstand behind your head. And if you need to watch this and stop and then replay it, you can do that as well. So you're going to come up onto your head. Now you're going to interlace your fingers and raise yourself up, really lifting your chest, lifting your head. Your head should not be on the floor anymore. If you can place down your head and get your hands beside your ears, and then come up again. And your shoulders should be much more open now. Coming down all the way. And now we can draw in our knees into our chest. Deep breath, especially into the lower back. Now you place your hands underneath your bottom. You straighten up your legs and slowly lowering down. Really try to press down that lower back. Nice, getting hands out of the way. Lifting your hands and now using the core again. Lifting. Getting tall. Placing your hands beside your hips. Straightening up. Make sure you're not like this or not like this. You're really straight. It should be a straight back and your head should not fall back. It should be a little bit really aligned with the mat. Make sure you're not pressing in your feet and not drawing them out, but really relaxing the feet. Raising your arms up, you can look up and stretch higher, and then you can round yourself up, making yourself a ball, maybe grabbing your big toes, drawing in your belly. Coming up straight back, and you can see if you shift one more time a little further forward, folding down, rounding your back, drawing in your belly. We don't want the back to be straight right now. That we can do as well, but right now we wanted to have a rounded back. Asana. You can start a circular breath, inhaling down the front of your body all the way down into your feet, and then exhaling all the way your legs up your back onto your head, and then inhaling all the way, the energy flowing down. If you like. We're going to inhale, straightening up that back. Now if you feel like you want to move forward with a straight back, you can do that as well, and place your chest onto your legs and really stay here if you'd like, stretching up longer. Slowly coming up, head first. Straightening your back, drawing your knees, having the hands in front, and then you can step back or jump back. Upward facing, downward facing. Shifting the weight forward into plank pose and slowly lowering yourself down all the way. Coming into cobra. Make sure your thighs are rotating outward. Your butt can stay relaxed. Your hands are pressed down and they're shifting forward, opening up your chest. Drawing up your knees. Inhaling and exhaling deeply. Without taking your break, unless you absolutely need to, you place your hands behind your back, raising up your back a little higher, and then raising up your legs. And really straightening up your legs. They don't have to go far up. They want to go to the opposite wall. Really get tall and longer. Breathing deeply. Placing your arms down, maybe placing your elbows down to Sphinx pose, to relax your bottom and really draw yourself. It's like you're drawing yourself forward, opening up, shoulders are drawn back, chest is lifting. Relax your bottom, your legs, they're not doing anything. It's kind of like a passive pose for the legs. Opening up the upper back just a little further. Lower yourself down. Hold on to your ankles into bow pose. Placing your forehead down, inhale, on the exhale, rise up, and if you're shifting your weight back and forth, that's totally okay, that doesn't matter. Make sure your chest wants to go forward and your legs really want to shoot up. My big toes are touching in this pose like this. Knees are apart, but big toes are touching. Coming down, upward facing dog, into downward facing dog. Looking forward, either stepping or hopping forward onto your knees. And coming up. We're gonna go into camel. And there's different ways how to get into the camel. You can, more beginners and back bends, you can place down your toes and make sure, it's not that far down for your hands actually to grab your ankles. You should not go down with one hand and then the other hand, but you do it with both hands at the same time. So you can either come down here, or if you know what you're doing, you can place your feet down. Now your knees are shoulder width apart. Your feet are a little bit more together. It's more like a V. You're going to place your hands into your lower back. And the goal is not to bend back like this, but to really lift your chest upward, really upward. Therefore, support your lower back first. And then you draw both hands at the same time back. And slowly coming down, grabbing your feet, your ankles, thumbs are on the outside, fingers are on the inside. And once you grab them, it doesn't matter, if you're up here or down here. Make sure to shift forward and your chest wants to rise up. slowly, without panic, at the same time, both hands coming up. And sitting back onto your heels, and now slowly, child's pose will really feel good. Come into child's pose. Breathing into your lower back. Slowly rising up, coming onto the hands and knees, and let's stretch out of the back a little bit. Inhale, opening up the chest. Exhale, rounding it. Inhale, opening up the chest. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. And coming into downward facing dog. Shifting the way back. Breathing deeply. Moving through one vinyasa, that means that you're going to shift your weight forward, looking forward, plank position, lowering yourself down, upward facing, downward facing, looking forward, trying to jump forward onto your butt or stepping forward. I'm going to practice Ardha Matsyendrasana, twist. So what we're going to do is get the left leg underneath the right leg, moving the right leg over, and then first of all we're just going to place our hands around the knee and really getting into the twist, lifting our chest up, lifting up everything that we have up from above our navel, and then twisting on the exhale. Every inhale we should go taller. On every exhale, move deeper into the pose. There's many different variations of Ardha Matsyendrasana, and I do have tutorials on it. So go check them out if you want to see what all you can do. Right now, for now, we're gonna place our hands, if you can do this, otherwise you stay where we have been, or do another variation on the inside of the foot, grabbing the foot, and then wrapping your arm around your waist. Again, lifting on the inhale, exhale, twisting, and it's not that important to really yank the head to the side. It's not that. Breathing deeply. Hand coming out of the twist, shifting the weight, the right leg underneath the left leg comes over, and we're going to wrap our hand around the knee, raising up, lifting the chest. Sometimes it also helps to raise the arm, to really lift and then twist. They should be weight onto the front leg, onto this leg, right here. Don't move everything back. Make sure it stays even and your butt cheeks are on the floor. Breathing deeply. growing taller with each inhale. Now placing your upper arm around that leg, and then see if you can grab your toes and place them back down, and wrapping the other hand around your back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Make sure there's still weight on your front leg. With every inhale, find the space to breathe. Make room for it. And shifting forward, drawing in both knees really tight into a ball, really draw them in, and then either step back or shoot back again through a vinyasa. Exhale. Slicing your knees down. We're going to come into Bakasana practice, and I do have tutorials on Bakasana if you don't know Bakasana well. Otherwise, your legs come up and placing your upper arms as high up onto the upper arms as you can, and you lift. Drawing in your belly strongly, using everything to draw in your bandhas. Looking forward in front of you. If you can, shoot your legs back. Upward facing into a downward facing dog. Breathe one more time here, stretching out. And come down. Now, in this Bakasana variation, we're going to try to jump onto the arms, which is definitely not easy. And it took me a long time to do it, and I fall out of it sometimes still. So what you're going to do is you're going to raise up your legs, and the downward dog is going to be smaller here. Otherwise you make it too hard. You don't have to jump that far, and actually if you take too much force, you're going to overshoot and you're actually going to fall on your face. It's not going to be pretty. So gently do it. Okay? Smaller version of downward facing dog. Looking forward. Coming onto your toes. And little hop. Stay here if you can. If you can, shoot those legs back. Upward facing. To downward facing. And short child's pose to break. I know this is hard, and you might have to try a few times. Slowly raise yourself up, opening up that chest. Drawing in your knees, and just one more time to get more flexibility and mobility into the spine. We're going to round that back, and when we round the belly, really make room. And we inhale, we're going to go taller. Exhale, making room, and stay here, sucking in the belly. Inhale, move up. Exhale, shift one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Now get your feet about hip distance apart or 2 fists. Lifting your hands. And now placing the feet before that. Really close to your butt. And now you're going to shift your weight forward and come first into a chair pose. Staying here for just a minute. Raising your arms if you can. Coming up all the way and then folding forward all the way. Lifting your chest up, let it be straight, and now you're going to place your hands underneath your feet for actually a handstand. You're going to stand on your legs. Now inhale, straight leg, exhale. You try to get your forehead towards the shins and knees. Make sure that all the weight is not placed into your heels, but you actually move forward. You're going to draw on your belly really deeply. Breathe deeply. Inhale, looking forward, exhale, shifting your weight, again, hands on to your hips, and then strong legs, moving all the way up. And coming into Trikonasana, one leg showing forward and one leg parallel to the mat. Make sure it's not too wide apart, not that your hip is going anywhere, but you're trying to keep straight here and the core is really activated. Arms go out to the side, and if you need any props, I have a tutorial on how to do a Trikonasana, then use that. I place my hand onto my foot and then I lift up my chest, opening up, sucking in my belly strongly using all the bandhas. Make sure not to yank your arm back here, it won't help you. You should try really to keep a straight line between the lower arm and the upper arm. It should be really kind of like a straight line, as straight as you can at least. Coming into the other side, lifting your arms. One foot shows to the front, the other parallel to the floor. Inhale, exhale, lowering down. And then raising that arm, maybe looking at the palms of your hand, really drawing in the belly and sucking in the bandhas. Everything is activated here, and breathing deeply. Looking down. Coming up, we're going to do a revolve triangle. And if you need a block, use one. If you do use a block, you inhale, actually with this hand, And you exhale, placing down the block beside your foot, not on the outer corner, but on the inner corner. Now I move my leg further in. It's not all the way lifted out, so I can actually shift my hip facing forward more. Now this is really a balanced pose, and it's not easy. I fell out of it really badly all the time, especially at the beginning. Inhale, exhale, moving down. You can stay here on the block, and then you open up your chest, really lifting, twisting from the navel. If you don't need that block, and a lot of people can place the hands onto the floor all the way, I place my fingertips over my toes and just like cupping my toes like this. Softly, and then coming into the twist. Breathing in deeply. Remember your core, your bandhas, everything is drawn in your belly. Coming down and shifting to the other side. If you need to block, use a block. Again, first the hips showing to the front. Inhale, growing taller. Exhale, placing down your hand and then twisting. And down and up with control. And then one more time, slowly coming into chair pose. Raising up your arms. And then slowly placing your butt down with control. Stretching out your legs. And then slowly vertebrae by vertebrae. Coming down and relaxing into Shavasana as long as you like. I will do a short Shavasana. You can stay with me and then come out of it together. Or you put on some music and stay a lot longer. Time to let everything go. Even your breath, everything can rest here and find place to rest, which you really need after such a challenging yoga practice, just letting everything go. Forgive yourself for not being perfect in the practice, and you might have been mad at this or that posture, that it didn't work. And so just let everything go, releasing yourself, releasing all feelings, your breath. Take your time, everything else is on hold right now. You need this time to be able to work better afterwards, and whatever task you need to face, you're going to face it after taking a rest and being responsible to yourself. You need this. you stretch your arms overhead and make yourself really long, pressing down your lower back into the mat one more time, really stretching. Stretching your hands out to the side, and I like to draw my knees actually in now. There's people that like to fall on the side and come out of it. I really like to roll afterwards, and you either do that with me if your back feels fine with it. So I'm going to roll up and down. On the inhale up, exhale down. Times. Then on this last one, you're going to come all the way up. Crossing the legs. Now one more time, I like to open up my hips. So I'm going to inhale, just moving forward, exhale, rounding the back. Inhale, forward and straight. It's kind of like a cow. Exhale, backward and rounded. Last time. And moving to the other side. Open up and round. Open up and round. Opening up. Round. Opening up and round. And from this rounding, like a flower, you're going to bloom open, placing your hands behind your hips and really open up. Spine growing taller. Belly drawn in. Chin away from the chest. Thank you for practicing with me.